By Raw, I can finally play that Dwarven Bladesinger I want now.
You must be talking about one of the wizard subclasses from Tasha's Cauldron to everything, Bladesinging. Let's talk about it.
I'm Nerdarchy Ted.
I'm Nerdarchy Steve. Welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds.
Now let's start slinging spells and swinging swords in this video.
Alright, so we're going to jump on over to Tasha's Cauldron to everything, and I am going to pull up it over on D&D Beyond. I believe Ted's got the Dead Tree version as well, where we're going to talk about this particular subclass, and this one originally appeared in the Sword Coast Adventures Guide, affectionately referred to as the Skag. And I know there's been like at least one major change to it.
Indeed, this is no longer having the requirement of you have to be an elf to do it.
That is true. So what do we got here? We got Tasha's little quip, as usual. When faced with an endless onslaught of magical possibilities, many wizards suffer identity crises. Some overcome, some break, and some become sword bards.
I always love those little quips. But Bladesingers master a tradition of wizardry that incorporates swordplay and dance. Originally created by elves, this tradition has been adopted by non-elf practitioners who honor and expand on the elven ways. In combat, a Bladesinger uses a series of intricate, elegant maneuvers that fend off harm and allow the Bladesinger to channel magic into devastating attacks and a cunning defense. Many who have observed a Bladesinger at work remember the display as one of the more beautiful experiences in their life, a glorious dance accompanied by a singing blade.
Hey, if you want another take on Bladesinging from one of the Nerdarchy staff writers, you can head over to nerdarchy.com and check out Master the Magical Dance of Bladesinging from Tasha's Cauldron to everything for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. We'll put a link to the article down in the description below. It might be up on this card as well, so that you can check it out. With that, let's kind of jump into it and talk about the Bladesinging tradition. But before we do, I think it's really important to mention that before you had to be elf or half elf in order to be a Bladesinger, they've removed that requirement. Anybody can do it. A dwarf is probably going to do it better anyway. So now you can play any kind of Bladesinger you want.
Before we go any further, if you like these videos and the articles we have over on nerdarchy.com and you'd like to help us keep making more, why not head over to Patreon and support us over there?
As a special thank you, you'll receive 5e content for DMs and players alike every month. Everything from new races, subclasses, magic items. There's magic items that we turn into print and play cards for you, drop-in encounters, feats, you name it. We're probably making it over there. Also a chance to game with us. There will be a link in the description as well as one of the cards where you can go check it out. Also, we have a free sample that you can just download for nothing and see what it's about.
At 2nd level, you're going to get training in War and Song. You gain proficiency with light armor, and you gain proficiency with one type of one-handed melee weapon of your choice. You also gain proficiency in the performance skill if you don't already have it.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I mean, instead of casting mage armor, you can wear light armor, which is going to be slightly less than mage armor, but you can get magic leather or
you,
leather.
You can get magic armor, and you don't have to use that spell slot. And while it might be less than mage armor, it's on as long as you're wearing it. So, no more, oh, the spell ran out, I gotta cast it again.
I mean, also, you're going to get proficiency with one melee weapon, and if you choose, depending what race you choose, like, so this might just add to your repertoire, there are definitely a bunch of races that give you access to different weapons, like elves, like dwarves, like Gith. Hobgoblin might as well. So that'll definitely add a little bit more martial bent, and you get the performance skill. So, I mean, we like anything that adds more skills and more flavor to your character, so that definitely works. But then we kind of get into, like, I guess the core of what it is to be the Bladesinger tradition, and that is Blade Song at 2nd level as well. You can invoke the elven magic called the Blade Song. Providing you aren't wearing medium or heavy armor or using a shield, it graces you with supernatural speed, agility, and focus. You can use a bonus action to start the Blade Song, which lasts for 1 minute. It ends early if you are incapacitated, if you don medium or heavy armor or a shield, or if you use 2 hands to make an attack with a weapon. You can also dismiss the Blade Song at any time, no action required. While your Blade Song is active, you gain the following benefits. You gain a bonus to your AC equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of +1. You have your walking speed increases by 10 feet. You have advantage on dexterity acrobatics checks. You gain a bonus to any constitution saving throws to maintain your concentration. On a spell, the bonus equals your intelligence modifier minimum of +1. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So, I mean, the nice thing is, like, you can take a 2-level dip and get all the bonuses of Blade Song. You're going to keep getting more of them, as you level up. So that's pretty nice. And also, I think you can fight with 2 weapons. It just says, you can't attack with a weapon
Two-handed.
that you used with 2 hands. So you could dual wield as well.
The only problem is you typically need a hand because it does not turn your weapon into your focus. So that's going to be your quandary if you are looking to actually cast spells and continue blade singing at the same time. So that's the only caveat I see.
I mean, you can fix it with Warcaster. Would be way, and I think there's a couple other ways you could actually fix it as well. Like there's a gem you can attune to a weapon that also lets it be used as a focus. So that might work as well, but I don't know if that helps with somatic components. So you still might need a free hand.
6th level, you can attack twice instead of once because you have extra attack whenever you take the attack action on your turn. Moreover, you can cast one of your cantrips in place of one of those attacks.
So I actually like this feature a lot. This is fun, especially like if you're going to cast, you're a 6th level caster. So if you're going to cast like Shadow Blade and fight with a Shadow Blade, so you can be hitting someone with that as well as using one of your attacks to cast cantrip scale.
I think let's face it, I'd rather hit twice with a Shadow Blade than a Shadow Blade and a cantrip.
Well, that's true. You're right. Although, I guess there's things you could do like Blade Ward. Like, it actually makes a spell like Blade Ward useful because, I mean, granted, you're only going to attack once per turn, but you're going to get resistance every turn, so it might come in useful there. There might be some other niche applications as well. Also, Shocking Grasp if you don't want to draw an attack of opportunity and you want to get out of range.
Sure.
So at 10th level, we get Song of Defense. You can direct your magic to absorb damage while your Blade Song is active. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to expend 1 spell slot and reduce the damage by an amount equal to 5 times the spell slot's level.
I think we talked about this, a long time ago. I just don't think 5 times the spell slot is all that worthwhile. Maybe in a pinch if you think you're gonna die. Like
I did hear one argument for using this,
right.
and I still don't know if I agree.
All right.
You get hit by an attack.
Okay.
And now you're gonna have to make a concentration check. If by reducing the damage, you can bring it down to a point where it's more feasible for you to pass
your concentration check.
That concentration check. But I mean, a lot of times you might save action economy, but you might be better off just recasting the spell, depending on what it is. Unless it's something like haste where you're going to lose a round, then you might be like, oh, maybe I should do that. But yeah, you're gonna have to really pick. And like, it's only 5 per level, right? So, what slot are you gonna have to do in order to make it worthwhile, right?
You're talking anywhere between 5 to 45 points of damage, and let's face it, if you're trying to use a 9th level spell slot to save 45 hit points, that hurts. That hurts a lot.
Yeah, and also, let's face it, a 9th level slot, whatever spell you're going to cast, like you'd be better off just recasting that spell, probably, more likely than not. So like that would be the only thing I would actually literally have to look spell by spell and be like, what is it? How much damage did you actually take to see if it's worth it? Because the added bonus would be mitigating the damage. The primary thing is making it so you could possibly pass your concentration saving throw. Now, if you're a warcaster, you can have advantage on that. It's going to make it better. If you're blade singing, you're going to be a bit better at it as well. So at that point too, like it would have to be a lot of damage to even think about it. But I feel like, bringing it down by 5, that means the check comes down by 10. So for every spell slot you spend, essentially, I believe you bring it down by 10.
Sure.
Right. So that is the only place that I could see where it might be worth it.
It's an argument, but as you said, the case by case scenario, is the only way to really look at that. But, hadn't really considered that before. Lastly, at 14th level, we're going to get Song of Victory. You can add your intelligence modifier, minimum of +1 to damage of your melee weapon attacks while your Blade Song is active. This is already, I can add my intelligence modifier to my armor class, to my concentration checks, and to my weapon attacks. You certainly want to be maximizing that intelligence.
Yeah, so as far as gishes go, the Bladesinging is better than a lot of the options, right? It's pretty good. But frankly, I feel like it peaks at 2nd level, where the other stuff are kind of cool, but I don't know if it's worth all those other levels invested in it.
Mm-hmm.
Where adding Bladesinging to maybe another warrior style class might be better.
Yeah, you could always take Blade Song and then go Eldritch Knight from there, and you won't get access to the super high level magic, but you're going to be a really good martial combatant because you're going to be Blade Singing on top of everything else you're doing.
And you have the hit points, but even like combining it with Rogue for sneak attack damage might be an interesting way to go. Also makes you a lot more tankier as a Rogue. It's going to bring your hit die up a little bit at least. So I think there might be some cool combinations that you could do with it. But all in all, it's a Gish. I personally believe Gishes are always weaker than straight up warriors or straight up mages. And I also hear the argument over and over again. It's not like you're just going to be hitting. You can still do wizard things. But I'm like, yes, but the other wizard subclasses make you better at doing the wizard things. This just makes you better at doing something you're already not good at doing.
But it's fun, so,
Well, no, it is fun. You said that kind of tongue-in-cheek, but no, we play Gishes in our game, and they're fun to play. The concept is cool. But, you're going to have a hard time convincing me that it's more optimized than doing something else.
All in all, I don't have, too much problem with it. There's a lot of love, a lot of desire for the Bladesinger. To me, the most important thing about the changes made in Tasha's is the fact that it's now open to everyone. So, you can put those in your world, for the races that give access to weapons, like your elves, your dwarves.
Dwarven axe dancers all the way, baby.
Dwarven axe dancers, the hobgoblin, spear masters. I think, these could all be something that, could be a unique culture, a unique faction of your world that you do something with. We had made, long before it was allowed to become a thing, we had Dwarven axe dancers, and we just said, well, we're going to scrub this and just use, the Bladesinger, and this is what they did. And
Ted was like, do you want to switch your wizard subclass to that? I'm like, no, not at all, Ted.
So it's definitely a lot of fun. But adding that culture, I think, is a thing that I like the most.
Yeah, and as much as we bash it and rip on it, we still think it's fun and conceptually a cool idea. There's nothing cooler than a warrior, that is lightly armored, dancing around the battlefield, slinging spells and slashing things with their weapon at the same time. Thematically, it's super cool. But when you break down the mechanics to it, I just think it's less cool. So, with that, let us know what you think. Argue with us down in the comment section below. I know many of you disagree. You're going to tell me why it's so awesome to just be a Bladesinger as opposed to being an evocation wizard or a war wizard. But yeah, let us know down in the comments below.
While you're down there, don't forget to do all those fun things that make the YouTubes happy. Like, share, subscribe. Even go ahead and click that notification bell so you don't miss a single video.
Quick reminder, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we drop new videos here on the channel. You can come back and check them out, but you can't wait till then. Not a problem. We got you covered. Up here, there's a card for D&D Hot Takes. Bladesinger, overrated or not?
So until next time,
Stay nerdy.